Ever had those moments where you die due to timing? Or you're in a post-plant situation and your opponent just seemingly guessed your position to beat you? Luck is a factor that's always in our minds when we play Valorant, and sometimes it can feel like unlucky situations just always show up specifically for you. What's going on, ProGuides fam? It's your host Kangas, and welcome to the 9th episode of Improvement Saturdays, where each Saturday we break down a fundamental aspect of FPS tactical shooters so that we can better understand Valorant at a higher level. Our topic this episode will be covering luck, a concept that might not seem to apply to Valorant, but is actually very present in the game. However, it probably won't be what you expect it to be. Luck is often a misunderstood concept that people think is completely uncontrollable, so that's why today we're going to break down what luck is, why it actually is somewhat controllable, and how you can master the art of being lucky. When people think about luck, they usually think about things like winning the lottery or finding a $10 bill on the floor, or just in general, some pleasant surprise that they did not plan for. So in Valorant, this is kind of like getting a random kill through the smoke, wallbanging somebody without knowing that they were there, or even something like headshotting somebody while jumping. Basically, luck is more or less defined as getting results purely based on chance, and not really by your own intentional actions. And similarly, being unlucky means getting punished based on chance, rather than a mistake on your own part. While all this is pretty much true to the word, what happens if you intentionally planned for it? Would that still be considered luck? Let's say, for example, I sprayed into a smoke intentionally for the sake of checking for enemies hiding, and I end up getting a kill. Technically, I'm still lucky to have killed the enemy despite not knowing where they were inside the smoke, but it's also not completely luck because I expected somebody to be hiding there. So would this be considered luck because I wasn't expecting to kill the opponent, or is it skill because my decision was still calculated? This is a question that, in my opinion, challenges the idea of whether luck is really an uncontrollable aspect of the game, or whether it's actually an opportunity for success. Kind of like visiting our website ProGuides.com, where you can find immortal and radiant level coaches that can help you rank up in Valorant. Whether it's to help you master a specific agent or teach you aim training secrets, each session is tailored to your individual needs to make you reach that next level. We've also got pro courses from players like Sentinel 10s and Team Liquid Scream, so make sure to come check us out if any of this sounds interesting to you. Now, if you think about it in terms of statistics and probabilities, luck is actually a misleading term. If you make a play that only has a 1% chance of working, then every 100 attempts, you can expect that you've succeeded once. But each attempt is isolated from the other, so in these 100 attempts, the one time you've succeeded seems like a very lucky occasion. In reality, however, you weren't actually lucky, because in those 100 attempts, you succeeded once, which is expected. So let's apply this to spraying through a smoke or making a crazy play. If the chances of me killing somebody by spraying into a smoke is hypothetically 10%, then every 10 times that I attempt it, I can expect to kill somebody. Am I lucky for getting results out of something that has a 10% chance of working? Kind of, but not really. I took a chance and it worked out. Just because it's a low probability of success doesn't mean that it never succeeds. And that also means just because it's a low probability of success doesn't mean you should never attempt it either. After all, the saying goes, you miss all the shots that you don't take. This takes on even more meaning when you think about luck and how it functions. Let's say that we compare two people, Joe and Bob. Joe likes to buy lottery tickets. Bob, on the other hand, knows that lottery tickets are a scam, so he never buys them. Who in this situation has a higher chance of winning the lottery? I think we all realize that the answer is Joe. It might not be a smart decision because Joe is losing money by buying lottery tickets, but it's obvious here that unless you try to win the lottery by buying a ticket, you can't possibly win the lottery. So if you don't spray through a smoke, you can't get a lucky kill through the smoke. Assuming that you have nothing to lose by spraying through that smoke, it's actually smarter to test your luck by spraying through it as you create your own luck. And you can only get that lucky kill if you give yourself the opportunity to do so. So this leads us to our question of the day. Do you ever feel like you rely on luck to win games? This is honestly kind of a trick question, but I think it's a good question to consider. Personally, I used to always think that luck has no place in becoming a better player, but as I improved and became more skilled and also just talked more with our coaches, I've started to notice that lucky situations happen more often for me, and I found myself winning rounds sometimes because I was in the right place at the right time. So let me know what your answer is, and also tell me what you think about luck and its role in Valorant in the comments down below. But in regards to our last example about spraying into smoke, don't get the wrong idea. This doesn't mean that you should just be spraying through every smoke as a rule or running and gunning because there's always a chance that you get a lucky shot. There's a difference between calculated luck and purely blind luck. If you have a good reason why you shouldn't be attempting something risky, then you probably don't want to do it. For example, if the enemies don't know that you're on a flank and there's a smoke blocking your path, then it's probably more important that you hide the information of your whereabouts rather than trying to get lucky by spraying through a smoke. If you're just trying to get lucky for the sake of being lucky and not because it's a calculated play, then you're kind of falling into the idea of blind luck, which is the form of luck that we are all used to seeing. Basically, your success is based solely on luck rather than your skill in manipulating luck. Instead, you want to find situations where luck is an opportunity rather than blind. That means going for plays that could potentially net you positive results, knowing that you either have more to gain than to lose or nothing to lose at all. I think we've all seen clips of pros getting some lucky kills through walls or smokes before, and while some of them can be considered lucky, you always have to consider the context of what's happening as well. If you take time to analyze their play, you'll find that pros give themselves the opportunity for luck whenever they have nothing to lose for trying it. If there's literally nothing better to do than spamming the smoke, or if spamming the smoke is safe because they can't possibly punish you while you're reloading, then it's in your best interest to do so, because you got nothing to lose. Either you don't get any kills, or you get lucky and get one, and potentially gain a lot of information too. The point is, you don't have much to lose, but you got a lot to win. Like, imagine if lottery tickets were free. You would buy lottery tickets whenever you can, right? You still have to be super lucky to win, but there's no downside to trying. And that's the kind of opportunities where being lucky isn't just based on chance, but also based on situational awareness and skill. Now, on that same note, taking calculated risks is a crucial aspect of becoming a strong player as well. One time, my friend pulled off a crazy 2v4 retake by running into the site while the attackers were planting and literally no-scoped 3 players before getting killed. But he also let his teammates trade out the last kill and then they won the round. When I asked him why he made the play he did, he said something that stuck with me to this day. Sometimes, to win crazy rounds, you need to make crazy plays. And it kinda makes perfect sense. Sometimes you just have to rely on a little bit of luck to win in situations where you're at a heavy disadvantage. Had he tried to retake 2v4 with an operator normally, he probably would have given the opponents enough time to establish a post-plant setup, at which point it's basically impossible to win. Instead, he chose the moment that they were planting to run into sight, take a quick 1v1 with an attacker trying to find a better position, and then shotgun opt 2 more players while the last player was planting. He took advantage of the chaos to give himself as good of an opportunity as possible to win, and then let luck take the wheel by hitting some crazy op shots at close range. In this situation, luck was what landed him the shots to win, but his decisiveness and calculated risk-taking is what gave him the opportunity to make that game-winning play happen in the first place. He realized that he needed to make something happen for a fighting chance, and he delivered. This was eye-opening to me because I had always tried to play as smart and safe as possible. In that situation, I would have tried to play in a normal way and would probably never have even had a chance. What I learned in his situation shaped how I view luck and risk-taking today. With that being said, creating your own luck isn't only applicable to getting lucky kills or making crazy plays happen. One of the most tilting situations for many players is dying due to their bad luck, or just getting unlucky with timing, and that's for good reason. When you die to bad luck, it's frustrating because you think you couldn't have done anything about it. But what if I told you that creating your own luck also means removing bad luck as well? One mistake that I see less experienced players make too often is that they blame bad luck or bad timing for their deaths. And while it may seem true in some cases, a lot of the times there's actually good reason for why they died in the first place. But because it's hard to know what you don't know, you can only see the direct cause of your death, which is the unlucky timing. Just like how you can put yourself in situations to potentially get lucky, same can be said. You can also put yourself in situations where you could easily get unlucky. For example, if you're in a position where you can be peeked at from multiple angles, of course you'll have a higher chance of unlucky timing because an enemy can come from any one of these angles, and you can only look at one at a time. In this case, your positioning is your weakness, and you got punished as a result. Or if you're that guy in our example sitting in the smoke, you'll naturally be putting yourself in a position to get shot through the smoke by another player randomly checking. By putting yourself in a situation where you can be unlucky, the chances of you being unlucky will evidently be higher as well. So before you blame bad luck or bad timing, you want to first consider whether the reason you were unlucky was actually purely bad luck, or instead a result of you creating the opportunity to be unlucky in the first place. So hopefully by now you got a good idea of the concept of luck and how it factors into a game of Valorant. In reality, luck is a skill that is an extension of taking calculated risks and playing the percentages game. By mastering the art of being lucky, you might find that sometimes you don't have to outskill your opponents to get a kill, but just give yourself enough opportunity to get a lucky shot against them. And with that, that wraps up our video on why luck is a skill that you can master. Let us know what you think, and also if there's any other topics that you want us to cover in a future episode. Also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to sub to the channel and like the video. It really helps us keep bringing more content just like this. That's it for today, so best of luck on the grind, everybody. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next one.